good evening and namaskar. We welcome you to the sixth edition and episode of Sir Ali, which we lovingly call as a book club by Parthasarathy Sen Sharma. Sir Ali, as you all know, it stands for secular, rational, and liberal. That's what the qualities that he lives up to. And today evening is very special to us. And of course, Serali means evening in Italian. And today evening is very special because after almost an year, today at City Book Leaders, we are hosting a session which is a semi offline online model. And today we have gathered into one room with both Partha Sarthi and Satya Saranji. So we are offline today, but you all are watching us online. And that's why you see a change of the setting as well. Today we will have a very vibrant background. And all together, there's only one screen for all of us. Today is definitely very special because with Satya Saranji and she being a very noted author, the kind of variety of books that she has written, the kind of literary works she has been involved in, it's definitely an evening to enjoy. We read books, golden memories and melodies. Today we have someone very special with us, and without much of ado, I will now request the captain, the leader, the club owner, Parthasarthi Sen Sharma ji, to initiate the discussions.
Thank you, Mohit. Thank you for your kind words. And it gives me great pleasure. It's a great privilege to welcome Satyaji on this episode. Welcome, Satyaji. Uh, I also welcome all my dear friends who are connected to this book club today online, all across India, on FB as well as on Zoom. Welcome, friends. And Mohit has forgotten to say, but you can put your comments and questions on the chat box and we'll be happy to respond. Uh, Many of us grew up watching and hearing about Satyaji and reading her writings. And many of my friends were very interested when I told that Satyaji will be the guest of honor in this episode. So I think many of you would have certain questions. This is the sixth episode of Serali, and in this episode, we decided to base this episode on books on Hindi Cine Sangeet. I think there's a whole genre of Hindi Cine Sangeet in which this entire generation of us grew up with in the last 80, 90 years, the country, the nation, and we all grew up in Hindi Cinema Sangeet. And I think it is we are yet to appreciate fully how Hindi Cinema Sangeet has affected us, how it has made what it has, and how it has connected, how it has really connected us across caste, across religion, across region, across languages, money, everything. Any Indian, any part of the globe instantly connects because of Hindi film music. And the influence of Hindi film music, the cultural influence of Hindi film music across the borders of India in places that you can even not imagine is something that we have yet to appreciate fully. But I'm very happy to see that in the last 10, 20 years, books have been now written on this phenomena. And we decided to have this episode on that books on Hindi cinema music. And who better than Satyaji herself, because she has written at least four remarkable books on Hindi music. So, Satyaji, once again, it's a great privilege to welcome you here. Satyaji, the first thing comes to my mind is an obvious question that would come to the mind of anybody. Is you went into journalism, then you became the editor of Femina for 12 years, then you became an author, and you have written such critically acclaimed biographies. You are a person of many hats. You also organize a writers' conclave in Hampi. You are a consulting editor with Penguin Random House. In this journey, you started as a journalist, then you became an editor, and then you became an author. What prompted you to get into this field of journalism, and especially senior journalism and editor of Femina, and how the journey has been like?
I never really got into cine journalism as such, but music has been Hindi film music is something that has been with me from when I can remember. You know? And I have always been humming those songs. In fact, my father used to say कि मेरे गाड़ी में stereo बजता है, because my sister would be at one window, I would be at the other window, and we'd be singing continuously. You know, and It's just something that's been with, just as you said, it's been something that's accompanied me over the years. And so when I had to write a book, and I got a chance to write a book on cinema, connected with cinema, which was Guru Dutt, which was my first book. I said, why not?
Actually, Hindi cinema music evokes so many memories from our whole childhood. I remember I used to go to school and the Bole Mr. Geet program used to come in All India Radio. And in the right at the night, 10 o'clock, the Chaya Geet
Geet.
used to come. So we all grew up with this.
Yes.
But very few people have written so evocatively about Hindi cinema and Hindi cinema music as you have done. I have read your book on Gurdat. I don't know whether you can call this Gurdat's book or Abrar Alvi's book. Amit, can you show the slide, please, on the book? I want to introduce this book to the audience because it is a remarkable book. This is a book in which Satya writes about the remarkable friendship as well as professional relationship between Gurdat and his writer, screenplay writer, dialogue writer, all in one, Abrar Alvi. People know Gurdat, but people do not know much about Abrar Alvi.
Yes.
And Abrar Alvi was the director of Sahab Bibi Gulam, which again people have disputed and asked aspersions whether actually it was Abrar Alvi or Gurdat doing the thing. And to tell you the truth, after Gurdat's death, Abrar Alvi was never of the same mind. So naturally, but this book is so evocative and it captures those 10 years from Arpar to Gurdat's demise, that night when he died. As if, and you feel as if you are there in the when the film is being shot and Kagaz Ke Phool is being shot, you are there with Wahida Rahman and Gurdat and Abrar Alvi and Johnny Walker and Mahmood, and it's a great atmospheric book, I would say. So, Tatyaji, what is your take? Is it a book on Gurdat or is it a book on Abrar Alvi? Or, and you have put some beautiful anecdotes. So, can you recount for the audience one of the interesting anecdotes of that you
Sure. I mean, see, I must say that Abrar Alvi might have never made another great film after he stopped working for Guru Dutt Films, but he was an excellent storyteller. And the book is what it is because he told those stories. And he would bring in drama. One day he would speak in Meena Kumari's voice. One day he would be speaking as Madhubala or Guru Dutt himself. So he was an amazing storyteller. He was a very colorful personality, very old, very sick, but fascinating. So I think all that has gone. So it is Abrar Alvi's book. And Guru Dutt through Abrar Alvi's eyes. It's a very personal view, intimate view of a man who is considered a mystery, who continues to fascinate us today. But some of the stories he told us, dispelled a lot of myths that we have somehow imbibed about the films of Guru Dutt. Even before we got social media, myths used to exist. And these myths are there about how Kagaz Ke Phool shows how actually Guru Dutt discovered Wahida, that she wandered in front of the camera. And I remember asking Abrar Sahab about this. And he started laughing. He said, aise to bolte hi hai. But the real thing is different. He said, we discovered Wahida because of a buffalo. And I said, ye kya baat hai? So then he told us the story about how, they were looking for something, a new film to do. And they went to Hyderabad, and on the way, they ran into a buffalo, which had been tied to the cart and was running along, and it ran into the car, and the car got damaged, so the car took longer to be repaired. So I'm cutting a long story short. But while they had 2 days for waiting for the repair to happen, they were visiting various people. They visited the distributor's office, PR karne ke liye. And they saw this car coming and urchins running behind the car. And they saw this girl getting out of the car and going into the opposite building. So Guru Dutt said, curiosity. He said, wo to ek nayi starlet hai, Wahida Rahman. And she has done some dance number. So वो dance number is making the film run. और अभी बच्चे बच्चे उनको पहचानने लगे तो गाड़ी के पीछे भाग रहे थे. तो आप मिलना चाहोगे? So he said, why not? So they called her, and it's very sweet the way Abrar said. He says, she came, she sat down. उसको देखने से कोई नहीं बोलेगा कि वो कुछ कर भी सकती है, ना लिपस्टिक ना कुछ, डरी डरी सी बैठी थी, and then she was answering questions in monosyllables, and suddenly she got up and said, अच्छा मैं चलती हूँ, and she disappeared. But they something made an impression, and when he was casting for CID, he said, I need a dancer, chalo usko bula lo, and that is how Wahida was discovered.
Actually, it's very interesting because Wahida, I refused to change her name.
Yes.
There was a lot of pressure on Wahida to change her name, and she refused at one line. So she had a character understanding from the and a mind of her own from the very start. And then, of course, Gulabo happened.
Yes, Gulabo happened, and also there is another very sweet incident which Abrar Sahab says कि वो पहला जब उनको break in करना था वहीदा जी को, Gurudat with a sense of mischief, because that is something that comes in the book. He had a great sense of mischief. Practical jokes तो बहुत करते थे. He gave him a romantic scene. कि इसको rehearse करो. So he says वहीदा वहाँ बैठी है, and मैं यहाँ बैठा हूँ, नजदीक जाती हूँ तो और जाता हूँ तो और दूर चली जाती है, and I'm trying to do a romantic scene. And I'm trying to say something romantic and have her say something romantic, तो बात बनी ही नहीं, तो मैं उठ के बाहर निकल गया कि ये कैसे होगा ये. I can't rehearse this woman, she's not getting romantic. Gurudat had a good laugh.
So this book is definitely fascinating, but the book which probably fascinated me even more was the book that you have written on S.D. Burman. The last time I met you in a literary festival, I think you were almost about to finish this book, S.D. Burman, Sun Mere Bandure. I don't know, when I read this book a few days ago, the portions where you trace his childhood in Comilla and Agartala, those were so atmospheric. And probably because I am myself can trace my roots to East Bengal. Therefore, it touched me even more. And his struggling days of Calcutta first, and then his becoming a Bengali singer in his own right, and then coming to Bombay, and again the second part of his struggle. We all know when S.D. Burman becomes S.D. Burman.
Okay.
But the formation days of S.D. Burman, the days when he met Meera, and the days when he used to stay in this hotel.
Yeah, Evergreen
Hotel. Those are the days which people don't know. People know the S.D. Burman jet days.
Correct.
So that is the beautiful, fascinating part that you have traced in your book. This is the book, my friends, which is, I think, is an extremely readable, extremely recommended book. So tell me, what prompted you to write this book on S.D. Burman? There were so many musicians. There is Naushad and Madan Mohan, there are R.D. Burmans. Why S.D. Burman?
I must give credit to a S.D. Burman fan who approached me and said, I have a lot of material on S.D. Burman. And after reading Gurudat, he said, I think you will do justice. Why don't you write it? So I took it up. And my challenge was there was already a very good book by Mr. H.Q. Chowdhury in Dhaka on S.D. Burman. And when I approached Penguin, because I had done the first book for them, they said, we have another book which we are also working on. So you can take your book wherever you want. So my challenge was कि मैं नया क्या लाऊं? A life is a life is a life. I can't introduce fiction. So we worked on the format. And when I started working on the format, now like you, I also have roots in Assam, in Calcutta. I grew up in Calcutta. I've spent all 10 years in Assam growing up, my schooling and everything. So all that was very real. It continues to be real for me. It was very easy for me to flip back into that era. And then, of course, I had to go into the past a little, but you've seen so many Bengali films. So it's very easy to recreate that. And I know the cadences of Bengali and how it is spoken. So it was not very difficult to become S.D. Burman. And as in portions where he is writing in the first person, it was not difficult, but it was a book which took very long. It took 9 months to write because the moment that mood it was as if I was being possessed. So the moment he left me, I had to drop the writing and do something else.
Actually, when you say it took you a long time and it took 9 months, I kind of feel strange because Each of my own book takes almost 2 years.
But you have a full-time job.
So, Mohit, I would, how many of my friends would be probably interested to get these books. So how can they get these books if they want to get a book?
So, ideally, sir, we have a very interesting way of doing it. We have a good stock of Satyaji's books with us, and if people do write to us, we can send signed copies of these books back to all those patrons who would like to read these multifaceted, beautiful
I
little
hope there are
books.
plenty of them.
Oh yes, as many as we would wish for.
Yeah, because these lives need to be known.
Yes, that's the idea. We will definitely have more and so we have two questions from our audience at this point of time. There's one which is directly about how the personalities and the writing has been changed because of the usage of various kind of languages infused into cinema. But before that, I'll come to a question which Sangeeta Singh ji has written. Who do you feel in the current generation Hollywood personality has a life and personality worth writing about? And this is recorded.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm qualified to answer that question. And I think they have to lead their lives first before we write about this.
Definitely. This is a very beautiful question that has come from Mr. Vikas Sutta. He's specifically asking it to you. Satyaji, can you please elaborate how Hindi film music has given life to Urdu as a language when post-partition it has almost vanished from the curricula in our country?
I think, poetry somehow sounds nicer in Urdu. It's much more flowery, it's much more romantic. You see, even if you're saying get out in Urdu, it sounds as if you're playing a compliment. So I think, and our poets have, except a few who are very, very serious, are only writing in Hindi, most of them have blended Urdu, have written in Hindustani and created that, especially the romantic songs of Hasrat Jaipuri or even, a lot of the others have created beautiful Raja Mehdi Ali Khan. They've created so much romance using Urdu just at the right places that we speak it or we use those words without even realizing we are speaking Urdu.
In fact, Vikas has asked a very interesting question. Vikas is from Punjab.
Yeah.
And Punjab, in the years that we grew up in, and our earlier generation grew up in, Urdu was the lingua franca.
Yes.
And once it went out of curriculum, it is primarily because of Hindi film music.
That it
It
stays.
stayed in our language as a living language.
Yeah.
And I would say that people, we did one episode with a person called Satya, in which it was called Language Sans Frontiers. So we spoke about Urdu and Hindi, and many of our poets now available in Devanagari script. So even the Urdu poets, if you are not able to read Persian script, you can now read them in Devanagari script, and that's great fun. This is incidentally the centenary year of Sahir,
Yes.
and probably we would like to do one Serali episode dedicated to Sahir himself.
Yes.
So
So we have a very interesting question, which is directed to Satyaji and the variety of books that she has written. This is a question from Surya Pawar, and he's asking, have you ever thought of writing about the Marathi film industry, which is one of the oldest in the country?
Well, I'd love to. I have a great, great admiration for Marathi theatre also. Unfortunately, I'm not a linguist. My understanding of Marathi is limited. So I have to say that I'll have to leave it in better hands. People like Shanta Gokhale are doing a great job on writing on Marathi theatre, Marathi cinema, Marathi personalities. I think I'll have to leave it to them.
I'll now come to your third book, Satya. This one is the biography that you wrote on Jagjit Singh.
Yeah.
At least our generation, the people who were born in early 70s or something, we grew up with Jagjit Singh.
Yeah.
And probably this one person, with all respect to Mehdi Hassan and Ghulam Ali and everybody else, has probably done more to popularize Ghazal as well as Urdu poetry to people for whom Urdu was not their first language. So we all grew up with Jagjit Singh, the unforgettables and the ecstasies and for someone somewhere. And these were all part of those days when the cassettes used to be
Yes.
the primary form of.
LPs. SD cards.
But the book that I'm talking about is this Baat Nikle Ki To Fir, which was the book that you have written on Jagjit Singh. I think this is the first probably full biography of Jagjit Singh written by anybody anywhere, and it was high time actually. It was high time that somebody wrote about Jagjit Singh. I have read this book personally, and this is again the best part of his the initial years, the days of his college days, and then his initial struggling days of in Bombay, how he meets Chitra, even how he does this advertisement jingles, and then after years and years and years of struggle, actually, then Unforgettables happened. So I think almost 10 years Jagjit was struggling in Bombay before Unforgettable happened. And those years have been written so beautifully and evocatively by you that you can almost feel that you are actually moving with Jagjit Singh in the footpaths of Bombay and struggling when he was actually
Well, I've
struggling.
taken those trains myself because I live in Bombay and I used to commute from Banduk to Weekly every day by train. And then in the beginning, I used to travel second class, so I know exactly how it feels and how he must have felt.
When I think of you work as a journalist going through on the trains, I somehow the character that comes to my mind is the Kala Bazar, Madhuwala. That is one interesting Kala Pani, Madhuwala. So, Satyajit, Jagjit Singh as a musician, as a composer, as a singer, everybody knows. I also met Jagjit Singh once, long ago.
Hmm.
And the interesting part was he as a human being. So unpretentious, so gentlemanly. Even with one meeting of Jagjit Singh, you can know that this is a genuine person. And this humanness of his comes through in your book so beautifully. So I want you to talk about something about Jagjit Singh as a person and how Jagjit and Chitra both made music despite all those setbacks, tragedies, and disappointments in their lives.
Well, I think, Jagjit's thing was that for him, like for S.D. Burman, like for Hariji, music was all that mattered. Music mattered. They were searching for whatever it is that music can give you to take you to the next plane. And in that pursuit, humanity came in because they realized how little they knew. It's such a vast ocean. And in Jagjit's case, his struggle made him human. His father was a Nirankari Sikh, and they believe in values of humility, of humanity, of looking after nature, of not being passionate in anger, of no revenge, no sins. So I think he grew up in that milieu. So that was imbibed in him. And maybe later on, he might have had, when he got great success, maybe he strutted about a little, we don't know. But then life brought him down with the tragedy of his son's loss. And after that is when I heard story after story after story of, how he became completely a different human being, as if nothing mattered. He just cared about others. I will want to share this very beautiful story about this man who came to him and said, Jagjit ji, आप मेरे यहाँ आइए, some small town, और आप वहाँ एक please program कीजिए. So he said, why? He said, I'm going to get my daughter married. I need 2 lakhs. आप आओगे, you will raise that money for me, and I can do it. So he said, मुझे सोचने दो. And come back after a week. So when he came back after a week, Ranjit said, I don't think I'm going to do this. He said, क्यों? He said, देखिए आप तो सोच रहे हैं कि आप 2 लाख इसमें से निकालोगे. अगर मेरा प्रोग्राम सक्सेस नहीं हुआ किसी कारण और आप उस लेने के बदले देने में हो जाए, what will you do? So he said, प्लीज मुझे माफ कर दीजिए. So the man was very downcast. What he said, हाँ, you're speaking sense. आप किसी और तरीके से ये पैसा जोड़ दीजिए. But because you came with some good news, I'm giving you a box of sweets. So he gave him a box of sweets, he said. So the man went home. When he opened the box of sweets, there was 2 lakhs. अब देखिए उनका वो मर्यादा भी उन्होंने बचा दिया. He did not make him feel कि I'm giving you money, I'm giving you charity. At the same time, he got it done. So these are the stories I heard were, I mean, they really touched the heart about this caring for people.
Yeah, that is what struck me when I read your book. Jagjit as a composer and singer, everybody knows his great. But Jagjit Singh as a person comes across so beautiful in this.
But it also comes across in his choice of lyrics. If you look at his songs, there are very few about how beautiful you are, or Sakhi Lade, all that usual format is missing. They are all songs about humanity. Even Sajda, every song is on dard, and aad pareshan hai aadmi, har jagah, whatever. So I think it showed through even in his work.
But after these 3 books, which were basically about light music, popular music, people, S.P. Burman and Jagjit, your latest book is about somebody who is a through and through classical musician. And although, along with Shiv Kumar Sharma, Hariprasad Chaurasia has
That's some
composed
amazing music.
done some amazing music for film music, especially Silsila, I remember very well. But still, Hariprasad Chaurasia is a classical maestro in his own right. And your latest book on Hariprasad Chaurasia's biography, it's called Breath of Gold. Mohit, can you put that slide, please? So that is your latest book, and you have written all your 4 books in different formats. And you cannot really compare these 4 biographies because they are all very different. So what prompted you to take this different formats for this different kind of books, and how do you choose your formats?
As I told you, S.D. Burman was chosen because I wanted to appeal to the younger person. I wanted to say the same thing differently. So I dramatized a lot of it. I personalized a lot of it. Gurudat was in that format because Abrar Sahab was talking and I was reporting what he was saying, but he was disjointed and I had to, keep packing it up for people to understand कि किस era की बात कर रहे हैं, किस film की बात कर रहे हैं, क्या हो रहा है. But when it came to Jagjit, it was a straight biography because my editor said, अब बहुत तुमने नाच लिया है, अभी सीधा सीधा लिख दो कुछ. सारे सीधा सीधा लिख दिया उसे. But when it came to Hariji himself, I mean his family himself said, we liked your S.D. Burman book, उस तरीके से लिखो. Now in S.D. Burman I discovered, अब अगर हमारे reviews देखेंगे Amazon में सबसे ज़्यादा बुरा reviews इसी के लिए आया है. S.D. Burman. अच्छा. Yeah, ये तो language दिखा रही है अपना. Because it's a bit literary. It's not, unfortunately, doesn't appeal to every reader who's looking for a lazy read. कि ऐसे ही लेटे थोड़ा दिमाग लगाना पड़ता है इसमें. तो ऐसे वो निकाल के उसी फॉर्मेट में और सिंप्लीफाई करके अगर हम लिखें. And Hariji's flute playing, I listened to so much of it that some of that way of alap, fir jod, then a long passage, then again something small, that kind of crept in. So I think that is how that format of that book shaped itself. Because I didn't consciously try to shape. I started writing it and found I was breaking it up into little anecdotes where the flow was not happening.
But I probably like the parts when you wrote about Hariprasad Chaurasia's days in Allahabad.
I think you're living in nostalgia.
Maybe.
That's it.
that happens when you become middle aged. but also the days in Cuttack. Because that was I had no clue about his days in Cuttack and how he learned the Odia and he worked with Richard Mohapatra and things like that. And I had absolutely no clue. And I think many of my Odia friends would also probably have no clue about that side of Hariprasad Chaurasia.
And when I went to Bhubaneswar, I met some of the people he had worked with over there in Cuttack, and it was a very lovely experience because they have such fabulous memories and they brought it alive. There is that singer whom I met who was running a fever. but he agreed to meet me at short notice. And how, by in that 15 minutes, when he started talking, we were sitting in a room like this in the middle of the afternoon. I was lost. I was transported back into time. So I'm lucky to talk to people who are able to take me into that. All I have to do is put it on paper.
It is not so simple as you make out to be. But friends, apart from these books on Cine Sangeet and cinema that Satyasan has wrote, he has also written a book called How to Look Like Miss India, if I'm not wrong,
Yes.
and a book on that great movie Angur of Sanjeev Kumar Sangur or Gulzar Sangur, uh, which is basically based on Shakespeare's Comedy of Errors. He has also written a collection of short stories called The Dark Side. And I think apart from that, she also is a stage player. You
Not any longer. I was.
never know.
Yes. Life is a stage.
She is a curator of a festival. She has written for TV. So I think she has many hats, and therefore she is probably not wearing any. So, Mohit, I think it's time for me to take a break and probably some people to ask questions.
Oh yes, there are so many questions that we can even make a book of questions out of it. But we will take a very interesting question, which will bring a lot of nostalgia back to you, sir. This is a question from Mr. Rajiv Puri. He says, first, my hi to Partha. So nice to see you and hear you after 25 years.
Oh,
Thanks to the digital platform, I guess. Question for Satyaji is, do you think that the depth, meaningful lyrics, and memorable style of music from the 50s and 60s could make a comeback in future movies, or the time has simply moved on forever?
no, it will come back. Has to come back. In fact, I do a column for Outlook on arts and entertainment, and last week I have written on two beautiful compositions. One is by Hariharan and Vikram Ghosh. Vikramji has created the music, Hariharan has sung it, and the video is also very cute. And the song is so nostalgic in its entire format of the 60s. It's about a man manawing his beloved who's very, very upset and is wearing beautiful clothes. But the fact is that this music is fantastic. So you never know, it will come back. It cannot not come back.
Okay, so we'll take one more question before we move to the next book, as well as we have the privilege of having the author with us today. Of course, not in the offline mode, but he will connect with us in the online mode. This is a very lovely question, Satyaji, which I would also like to ask you.
Mhm.
Were you able to identify some common traits amongst all your famous music subjects that may have helped them realize their greatness?
It's very strange that you asked this question. I'm reading a biography of Louis. No, Louis Banks. Louis Banks, who has made the music for most of Sam Benegal's films and all. And it runs parallel to Hariji's story. Almost the same struggle, the same sudden, something, one big offer coming their way, then they're going abroad and doing fusion music, just as Hariji did with Ravi Shankar's group. So I think all of them have had that early struggle. And I think destiny has helped them reach where they should, because destiny or Saraswati or whoever it is has realized he इसमें not only talent है, but he also has dedication. He is passionate. He has the passion to continue doing it regardless of what happens in his life. Jagjit, Chitraji stopped singing after Vivek passed away, but Jagjit turned the music into something else and continued to sing. He used the music to cure himself, to heal himself, and again to reach out to the higher levels. So I think that's what is common. I mean, if you look at the first story about Hariji, is how at the Shraddhanjali of his Guru Ma, everybody performs. There are 5 Padma Vibhushans performing that day. There is Amjad Ali Khan, there is Birju Maharaj, there is Zakir Bhai. All of them are performing. When Shivji and he sit on stage, he's not able to perform. He picks up the flute, and here is a man who can perform even today for an hour without stopping. He picks up the flute, it goes flat, but he doesn't give up. And Shivji covers up for it. So there is this great, what is it called, camaraderie between them, synergy between them. And it's only later they realize that it's not that he has lost. He thinks in my book I make him ask, is it because I have not been a good pupil, Guruma, that on your Shraddhanjali I could not play? The most important performance for me was at your Shraddhanjali. But actually, it's not that. 2 days later, they rush him into hospital and there are 3 stents put into his heart. So it's because the heart was failing him at that moment. He didn't have the breath. And then his characteristic humor, he says, oh, it wasn't me, it was Mr. Peck. I will play for you. And he plays.
And for people who would not know probably, this Guruma that Satyaj is talking about of Hariprasad Chaurasya is Annapurna Devi.
Yes.
Annapurna Devi is a remarkable character herself, the daughter of the legend Alauddin Khan, also the wife of Pandit Ravi Shankar. But I sometimes wonder, Alauddin Khan named her daughter Annapurna Devi. And we never batted an eye for that.
We used to think buttons.
Yeah, but today, suddenly I find it so astounding and something which strikes me.
Right. His son-in-law was a
Yeah.
Ravi Shankar.
And we just accepted it just like that.
Yeah.
Some people say that the movie Abhiman was probably about Ravi Shankar and Annapurna Devi's
Yes, it
story.
was. It was. And Hariji said so. And Jikesh he approached him saying it is the common fallacy is that it's about Jayaji and Amitabh, but Amitabhji, but it is about them. But beautifully you were quoted. But Hariji went for 3 years to Annapurna Devi's door saying, take me, take me, take me. He was turned back repeatedly, but he never gave up. That is the kind of dedication we cannot imagine today.
Satyajit, we are also
Yeah,
we are very privileged and very happy that one of the other authors who has written about Hindi cinema music,
Balaji is here. I know.
Balaji Vittal is here. And Balaji Vittal,
Yeah, hi.
welcome, and thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for calling me. Am I audible and visible?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
absolutely. There are 2 books that I have read about the author duo, Balaji Vittal and Anuruddh Bhattacharya. One on S.D. Varman, and the other one on R.D. Varman. The S.D. Varman, the Prince musician, and the one on R.D. Varman, again with this author duo, the man, the music.
Yeah.
Now, Satyajit, I'm sure you would have read these books because you would have, for your search for S.D. Varman, you would have read this book.
No, R.D. Burman came out after me.
Okay.
But R.D. Burman I read because it's a very beautifully written book. Very amazingly researched. I mean, I can never dream of doing the kind of research Balaji and Anil do. It's too good.
So, Balaji, if I may ask you, what prompted you to write these books and what is the process like?
Well, it just happened out of a chance conversation sometime in July 2008. Anirudh was 5 years my senior in college in Jadavpur University, Calcutta. That's where I've grown up. I'm a second generation Calcuttan. And he was my senior, and we used to listen to R.D. We used to sing and listen to R.D. Burman music almost every day in the canteen. There was a daily quiz, and Antakshari used to participate in all the college festivals. So somewhere, without realizing it, R.D. Burman, Kishore Kumar, and the music of 60s and 70s was part of our daily diet, was in our bloodstream. Aniruddha had started writing this book in 93 or 94. He had written a couple of chapters, but then work caught up with him, and then it got shelved. Then in 2008, in a chance conversation, and how destiny brought us together, because we had been out of touch for a few years, then we got back in touch. And he said, I'm planning to write it. I said, let me join you. He said, there are 2 other co-authors. I said, I don't mind being a 4th author of the book. But then the other 2 got caught up in something else, and it was he and I. And again, the same story about the local train travel in Bombay and meeting vada pav at the stations and meeting all the people. So it was, I think it takes a local train of Mumbai to write good books, I guess.
Sweat and the tears.
And we started writing the book in July or August 2008. And I remember having to wade through water, knee deep water, and go and meet Fahimullah Saab or Kancha Bhai or Ramesh Iyer and all the musicians. That was good fun, amazing fun.
One common question I want to ask both of you. Which is your next writing project? Because a writer should never stop.
Yeah.
So, which is your next writing project? And I'll come to Satya also about your next.
And both are very big projects. Actually, my contract doesn't quite permit me to sort of reveal it right now, but I can tell you that Anirudh is writing a book on someone we all know, we have all heard about, and I think it's going to be the best ever book that anyone has ever written on him. I can say it because Anirudh is an absolute authority in that subject. I can't think of anyone else better than him. And the one that I'm writing is not anything to do with music. It is to do with some of the darker shades of movies that we see, some of the darker shades of characters that we see. To go deep into those, trace them back from the 1920s and see how the face of those dark characters have changed over a period of time and what they look like today. So expect a release sometime in the next few months, hopefully.
It's quick.
So, Satya, which is your next writing book?
I am persuading the son of a singer to share his father's life with me. It's an uphill journey, but yes, I will hit that summit. It will happen.
So I think both of your contractual obligations are.
No, I don't have a contract yet. I have nothing. It's just a germ in my mind, but I'm working very seriously.
Many of my friends are connected today, so and I've not announced it anywhere else, and nobody has asked me. But let me announce it. I have just entered into my publishing agreement for my next book. I also write, as my friends know, novels and travel. That will be coming out. It is called Andamanush Nicobar. It's a travel novel. So it is basically a travelogue over Andaman Nicobar, but fictional characters and fictional conversations. So I just hope that some people will find it interesting. It should be out this week.
Sounds interesting, of course, from what you said.
So, Balaji, it is very, very nice, really, and I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking time out and joining us. If
My
you
pleasure.
have a question directly to ask to Satya, I leave it to you.
No, I don't know. I'm okay. Whatever. I mean, you're the moderator, you're the curator of the session, so I'll let you guide us all.
Thank you for joining. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The next book that I want to talk to about is a book by veteran journalist Raju Bharatan. It's called Down Melody Lane. This book is a bit different because in this book he has tried to capture all the artists and all the music data in one book. So it has a chapter on Naushad, it is a chapter on SD, it has a chapter on Kishore. And for someone who has been in this field for almost 50 to 60 years, he naturally has a lot of anecdotes and stories around these characters. Most of the characters are unfortunately not with us any longer. But for people who are interested in Hindi cinema music, like me or like Vikas Pratap or like others, it will be an interesting read to know about some of these anecdotes. This is the book that I'm talking about. It is basically a snapshot of all the personalities that we know about him. But the one book that I'm really interested in letting people know, because it's a much lesser known book, it's called Raggiri. Raggiri is a book in Hindi. It is recently published, I think. It is written by two journalists, Shivendra Singh and his friend, Girijesh Kumar. And this book is basically talking about the Hindustani classical music's influence on Hindi cinema. So they take one classical raga and all the songs and how they are based on that raga and with little stories around them. Very, very readable. And it's interesting because Shiven, I have lost touch with him, but Shiven I knew around 20 years ago.
Huh?
When I was 20 years ago working in Allahabad, he was starting his journalism as a journalist in Amar Ujala. He then became a sports journalist, went into Z News, and then he chucked everything else and started this organization called Raggiri just to popularize Hindustani classical music in the next generation. And I think that is a remarkable story for someone to give up his livelihood to do something out of his passion for something which he believes in. In itself, something and it is a lovely book. So, friends who are interested in Hindustani music and Hindustani cinema music and their interaction, I think it is a lovely book to read.
But you should mention that it's in Hindi.
It is in Hindi. Raggiri is in Hindi. I think but it is very easy read. So people who are not so conversant in reading in Hindi also would find it quite interesting.
I plan to read it.
Yeah, I think you will find it very interesting. Mohit,
Okay. So we have plenty of questions, but let me tell my audience here today who have joined the online mode that we will be back very soon in offline mode. And there cannot be a better joy than connecting in an offline mode with everyone. And that's exactly what we plan to do from our next month. But yes, we will reveal that after some time. Today, we are not revealing about our next session.
Mhm.
We are already at 6:55 now. We have a couple of minutes to go. And though I have some questions, but because of a technical glitch on the system that we are using today, I'm not able to see those questions. So in case people would like to send it on the chat, I will try if we can get everyone's questions on the chat box today. I am not being able to see any other questions on the screen. So if you can just type in your quick questions, comments on the chat box, you'll be able to see that. That's a request to all of you. This is something that we'll have to manage as a technical pitch that has happened.
but Mohit, probably you can the same email in which the audience have registered themselves for Zoom,
Correct.
the same email they can send for getting a discounted signed copy of the author's books of Satya Sir.
Oh yes, that's the added bonus I must say. So whoever is logged in here at this call, as well as people who have joined in through Facebook, you can send an email to us at read@citybookleaders.com with your interest on whatever book you feel like. We have all the copies that we would love to pass it on to Satya ji, and she will send a signed copy to all of you. That will be a direct connect. That's a way you can actually stay in touch with Satya ji as well. So we have a very interesting question now, sir. We have a question from your friend Vivek Jindal. He is asking, can you cover something about Gata Rahe Mera Dil from Balaji's books?
You should ask him. That's a lovely book.
Yeah, is Balaji still
Yes,
connected?
yes, Balaji is here.
The
I think-
beautiful book.
I think I'll take some time to get him. But meanwhile, Satya ji, if you would like to say something about it.
Well, I found the book fascinating, and I think it won an award also, an international award, because it takes songs, and it doesn't take the best known songs. It takes slightly lesser known songs and talks about the story of the song, how it was composed, what went into it. And it's amazing. It's a lot of research, but it's presented also very beautifully. And it's not heavy duty. It's not difficult to read, and you immediately love the book.
In fact, the thing that you mentioned, lesser known songs.
Yeah.
We all know this favorite lesser known song.
Yeah.
In that generation that we grew up in, there were some very
Big
long
ones, yeah.
big ones. Like Guide song. Everybody would know. But for me, the song of Teen Devyana, when he takes Khayal Hoga,
Okay.
that is another such a Gurdat is the best song taker. Simon Roy is an excellent picturization of songs. And Raj Kapoor is Raj Kapoor. The one who was, I think, severely underrated throughout Hindi film music history is Vijay Anand.
No, but everybody knows he was a genius.
Now, in the last 10 years probably, but you know, Vijay Anand probably was never equated at that level with
With the rays
with the, yeah,
and
Vimal Rais and Raj Kapoor's and Gurudats and Mehboob.
I think Balaji is.
Balaji is here.
Yeah.
Balaji, we would like.
Gata, I heard the question. Yes, Gata Rahe Mera Dil won the Manny Award and the R.D. Burman book won the National Award.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So chronologically, that's how it was. Gata Rahe Mera Dil was an extremely challenging effort because we had to cover various decades, various genre, various composers, lyricists, actors, directors, everything. You know, it had to have a qawwali and a bhajan and a romantic solo and a western and everything. And we had to pack it and we had to select only 50. So we sort of long listed about 100 and then we somehow pruned it down to 75. And then don't even ask how many arguments and debates you would have, Anirudh and I would have in terms of getting it down finally. And then we discovered that, and when the final list was done, we discovered there is no Amitabh Bachchan in that. Okay. So I said, that's not on. I'm not saying his music was great in his films, but we can't leave out Amitabh Bachchan. Then we had to say that, okay, how can I bring in...
He had Abhiman and Milli, so you cannot leave
Abhiman, Milli, yeah, right. But he never needed anything more than himself in his films, right? He didn't even need a heroine in many of the films. So then he picked Silsila. So Silsila brings in Shiv Hari as well as Amitabh Bachchan and Yash Chopra in one. So it was something like picking an IPL team, right? Where you drew the various algorithms and then you put certain weightages. It was like building a scorecard, but it had to be done from the heart, not in the head. So we said, let's make some bold decisions. And then we know we're going to get trolled. If you have noticed the book, there is no Mughal-e-Azam. There is no Nagin, right? We said, we're going to get bashed up in public. Okay. We included Jag Dile Diwana, which is a Chitragut composition, which is an offbeat.
Oh.
So while 80% of the song selections were the popular ones, we said 20% will be those which are offbeat and something like Rare Jewels. So it was fun writing it. We never knew what the feedback is going to be, but we didn't have our effigies burnt in public. So I think we are safe. I think we are okay for it.
Thank you, Mr. Vital. But two nice things have come to an end. But I think there is a time for one last question.
We can take a very beautiful question that is directed to Satyaji. And this would actually summarize our entire session. This comes from Bhavana Singh ji. He's asking, Satyaji, can you summarize these famous characters on whom you have written in your books in one word each for your book?
Gurudhat, S.G. Varman, Jagjit Singh, Hari Prasad Chaurasia.
Well, Gurudhat misunderstood.
Okay.
Jagjit Singh, national. Hari Prasad ji, genius.
And SB.
SD, complex, very complex man. People call him stingy, people call him.
Yeah, he was stingy. There are so many stories.
That's the funny part.
But there is one very interesting story that you have in your S.G. Varman book, in which Hari Prasad makes an entry.
Yes,
The Rasgulla story.
Yeah.
So I have to now conclude this session, and I thank Satyaji from the bottom of my heart for
My pleasure
embracing
completely.
this. People sometimes wonder why I do this Serali book. I sometimes wonder myself, why do I put so much of effort for doing this? And it is completely pro bono, as everybody knows. We believe that the culture of a society is the sum total of these conversations. Conversations about the right things. Conversations about music, about books, about ideas. And it does not, the culture and civilization does not come from somewhere up there. It is a sum total of these activities that we do. And we believe that in our small parts, we are building upon this culture and this civilization. So, Satyaji, lastly, any parting words for people who are connected to Serali? And any views on what we are doing?
I think it's fantastic what you're doing, and I mean I'm particularly extremely flattered that you thought a session on my books was worth your time. But I do appreciate how much of work. I mean, I don't know too many people who would read every book before doing a session. I honestly don't know. I was surprised when you told me I'm reading all your books. I am doing my research before I send you my questions. I was very impressed. So please keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, Sushil. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for gracing this occasion. It was a privilege, honor, and pleasure to have you here. Thank you, Mohit, for your kind words. And
Yes, thank you, Mohit, also for making it happen.
So as we call ourselves as the friends of books. So when there's a friendship on books, it always goes on for life and beyond life, I must say. That's what an author does, and that's what the research does with Balaji, with you, with Parthaji. I think we as readers, we get our chance, we get our own heaven by reading your books and the perspective that we bring. I must mention that we have a colleague of Sirali, in fact, two of them. Ridhima, who's here today, she always manages the back end. Today she was totally flabbergasted that we are sitting in a room to do it, otherwise it was always on a Zoom, and like many others as well. And our dear colleague Samina, who's a remarkable lady, and today she couldn't join in because she is serving the nation. She is back in action even on a Saturday evening. And because of her, we have been able to gather a lot of courage to continue on to our journey, and we proceed to our seventh Sirali next month. Today we just completed our sixth. So this is like a sixer, and I must say, this is one of the best innings we have played so
And
far.
surprisingly, it was on the 6th.
Oh, yes.
6 p.m.
6 p.m., 6th of March, and the sixth session. We look for the 7th. We'll see if we can do it on 7th anyways. But yes, this has been a lovely journey. We have some plans for Sirali as a book club. It is giving us a completely new perspective. It has brought in a lot of joy to us. It has given us more reasons to read more books and to make more friends. Satyaji today actually traveled all the way from Pondicherry to Chennai, Chennai to Delhi, and from Delhi to the place where we are today. So hats off to you,
My
Satyaji.
journey started at 5 o'clock.
So this is really beautiful, and we are very thankful for
I'm
you.
very happy to be here. Thank you.
And my special thanks, and like always, we have our gratitude towards Parthaji for taking this initiative ahead, and to all the audience who are also sitting with us here today. Let me tell you, we can't move the camera to them, but yes, we do have audience today. Thank you very much, and have a beautiful Sirali. Have a beautiful life ahead. Thank you very much. From
Thank you
City Book
again.
Leaders, the
Thank
Friends
you.
of Books. Namaskar.